Okay, so now we're at the roof panels. Best thing I found is I put the ladder right in the middle, kind of at an angle. When I step on here, just right here, and then have your helpers pass it over to you. And I just grab the one corner of it. They put that end down and get around to the other side of it. And then we can both lift it up and put it into place. So then what you do is have your helper on that corner there. Just basically hold it up so it doesn't slide down. Doesn't have to be in the perfect position, just as long as it's kind of in that corner. This side here is where you're going to screw it together. So I pull the ladder over here, and I grab this screw on your drill here. And if you look from this side over here, looking this way, you'll see the overlap of the Lexan from this panel here on top of this corner piece here. So you can see how it doesn't quite line up, but when I move it down, they mesh. So that just makes it, you know, you got it in the right spot. And then I put a screw here. And then you can see I got a space here. So now I ask my helper to go up. It tightens it up a bit. And put screws in there. And then fill all this with screws before you move on to that corner there. Now I go over here. And now I get this down in the right spot. Approximately. Through here. I grab my ladder. And I put a screw here. Now you might find, when you're putting this together, if your base isn't quite level and perfect, there might be an opening here. So what you gotta do is you put your hand in here and you give it a shake and pull that in, and then put the screws in all the way along. And then what it'll do is it'll actually, like if the greenhouse is kind of askew, when you're pulling that all together, it'll square it up as you're putting this part here together. But before you do that, just make sure you have all the screws into that extension piece. Now that we've got this on here, this is where I'll take and line these pieces up better so that you can feel that they're flush on the outside here. Screw in each one of these spots here all the way along. And then that kind of holds it all together. Once we've got both roof panels on, then after that, then I put screws here. So I put one here, two, and one, two, two, and one, two, one. I leave these unscrewed so that you can easily manipulate this to get it to fit together better. And I also leave these loose so it's easy for you to get your hands in around here and work with this. Don't be afraid with this Lexan. It's not delicate. It's pretty good stuff. Like you can really twist it and bang around with it. It can take a lot of abuse. Same thing for the other side. And you'll find when moving these panels with the vents, one of those spots right here, if you put your hand right there, that's about middle of that panel, so it kind of balances there fairly nicely. So you just hold it there, it should be good. You can see that it's quite a ways off, but that's okay. Because right here where it meshes is perfect. So I'm going to make that go together nicely first. Screw there. And then put all the screws down here, like every 12, 16, 18 inches. I give you lots of screws. Don't be afraid to put lots in. Now this is the last bit here. You can pull that down. Unscrew there. That one there. It screws all along here. Okay, so once I've got all that done, got all those screwed, corners screwed, then I can go and start putting screws into the main beam, into these roof panels. So I'll put one here, one here, one here, here, all the way along. And that really strengthens it up. As well as getting all these pieces together. You put screws here, and then again, screw all of these together as well. Once you've got that all done, it's going to be pretty solid. That's when you can finally screw the greenhouse down to the base. Don't screw the greenhouse down to the base until you got basically it's all put together already. And what we do usually is I'll start moving this around to get it kind of centered on that base. So you can see I got about an inch and a bit there, about an inch and a bit here, about an inch over there, and over there. So then I'll put a screw here on either side of the door into the wood, and then I'll just work my way along, squaring this up. So you can see how this wall moves around. So as long as it's fairly parallel, put a screw here, and then once you've got that, you can move this here to get it in place, and then get it all squared up on your base.